What's good, YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. Christian here again with another video, and today I got a fundamental neutral guide. The last one I made was 3 months ago and it's a little bit outdated, but people keep going back to that video because there's not a lot of information online about how to properly play Sparking Zero, and a lot of Z-Ranks kind of just want to gatekeep information so they could just be better than the player base. But at the same time, they'll complain that players don't know how to play, they spam Vanishing Assault, and they just spam cheese to play, but they won't teach you anything. So of course I make these guides so that the overall player base can become better and we could just get better matches overall, okay? So if you don't know, I am a Z-Rank, guys. I know we all got reset, but I am a Z-Rank and I use all the characters on the cast, including Pansy, you know, Cell Jr., Kid Gohan, and I could get dubs on quick play at least, even before patch, before everything got equalized. So I'm going to teach you the fundamentals that I use so that I can use characters like that to compete against good opposition and get dubs at least in quick play, okay? Alright, so first thing we're going to go over is the engagement tools, just like before, okay? So we have the normal attacks, the rush attacks, right? With just the square attacks. Okay, we have Ki Blast. And then we have third, something that you might not know if you're a beginner. It's called a light smash. Okay, light smashes look like this. Alright, they also call them buffered smash attacks in the community. Now these attacks are good because they serve as your mid-range engagement tool. Okay, so even if I'm kind of far away from the opponent, I could hit him with a light smash. And the way you perform that is basically just a normal smash attack, just like that, but you just let it go sooner than normal. Okay, so you just hold it for a little bit and release, hold it, release. Okay, all right, so that's your mid-range engagement tool. Okay, it has armor as well, so if people try to spam rush attacks, you can buffer a smash attack and go through their rush attacks, which is very powerful. The only thing is that if they sidestep this move, they can basically start their offense. So it's kind of risky to throw. You want to throw it at the right time, okay? So when is the right time? Essentially, you have to create the right time by knowing the opponent with Ki Blast from mid-range, okay? So from here, I'm poking, light smash, right? Another thing that you could do to approach from mid-range is use your smash Ki Blast. Basically, smash Ki Blast, light smash. See that? Smash Ki Blast, light smash. And then from there you can start your combos. That's one of the things that the tutorial will not teach you, is that light smash strategy, and is very powerful, and all the Z-Ranks use them, okay? So you need to know that in order to compete against good opponents, okay? So in my last neutral guide, I said that the mid-range was weak, but because there wasn't a lot of approach options that were true, right? Well, let's test some of those approach options out right now, okay? Well, let's start with dash attack. So as you see, even after a hit, the opponent is able to guard, okay? So that's always been that way, but the only difference is, compared to the last neutral guide, is that opponents cannot perception out of a guard now. So basically, neutral has become a race to get the opponent to guard first, because once you guard, you basically don't have a lot of options. You cannot perception out of this guard fast enough to really guard yourself against attacks coming in. So basically, if I could get my opponent to guard, it becomes a guessing game for him, and I can dictate the pace of when I want to open him up, right? Because let's say I do get a dash attack, and as you see, he can block, but if I throw kicks in, I open him up, see? See, and then it becomes a offense for me, basically. If he just guards after the dash attack, I could throw kicks in. He could block high, but I could also mix that up with a trip, right? So if he blocks up and I throw a trip, it'll trip him. If I throw kicks, then it'll open him up. So that's called a 50-50. Basically, it's a you know, coin flip type situation for him. Okay, so he's at a disadvantage there. He has a 50% chance of basically losing that engagement. And let's say even if he guesses right, let's say he blocks that kick, and you know, he can sidestep and I can sidestep, and we're back to neutral basically. Memory again. All right, so those attacks are true. So you press square, triangle, square after a dash attack, you basically can get a true combo out of that. So those are true now. So those are approach options, but they can be vanished and they're kind of slow. So not very useful in my opinion. It's still better just to start your combo with your kicks or trips. Okay. Now characters that don't have kicks on the first hit. Okay.
Oh, looks like it's my turn.
It doesn't matter if he guards, okay, and I'm gonna explain why. So even though my Boo doesn't have kicks in the front of his string, he has them in third hit. Because there's no perception out of guard, it's still safe to continue your string after he guards. So it really doesn't matter if he guards, okay? He still has to guess on the third hit. So he has to guess there, right? Even though it's not in the front, he still has to guess. So right now it's really safe for you to hit on guard. Back in the day, I could not continue this string because he would just perception it, but now he can't. So I could just go to my third hit and he has to guess there, right? So it's really not an advantage as much to have kicks in the front compared to before. Now, just having kicks in general is good enough. Even if he guards on the first hit, he still has to guess on that third hit. So in your mid-range engagements, you want to fish for that light smash, and in your close-range engagements, you want to force your opponent to guard and make him guess on your whatever hit your kicks are. Okay, so that could be first, second, or third. It really doesn't matter because he can't perception out of guard. So once he's guarded, he's yours basically. He has to basically guess what you're gonna do. You're dictating the pace at that point. You basically won neutral. So neutral is just a race to get the opponent to guard. Okay, guys? All right, now as far as long range zoning is basically dead at this point, guys. Like, I could just hold R1 here and become immune to Ki Blast, which is pretty stupid in my opinion. I really don't like that about the game now. It makes it very dumb in my opinion. I could just move and press R1 and be immune to all Ki Blasts. I know people hated zoning back 3 months ago, but in my opinion, some of this stuff should come back because this just dumbs down the game and it looks really dumb. Look at Frieza just waving the air. So long range zoning is dead basically, so I don't really need to explain much. Just hold R1 at long range and approach slowly forward, and there's nothing he could do about this really. I mean, he could Seaburst dash at you and then you just react. Whoop. You could basically just react and sidestep to it. All right, so next we have close range. Okay, so close range sidestep has been nerfed compared to 3 months ago. So basically people can react to your sidesteps a lot easier just by pressing your rush attacks at the right time. But in order to make them track, you have to move lateral. Okay guys, if you stand still and throw a rush attack, it just goes forward. It doesn't really track your opponent's movement. But if you're moving to the side and you press a rush attack, it tracks a lot better because your body is constantly resetting its position to kind of face your opponent. But if you just stand still and he sidesteps, see, Frieza just stands still. So basically it doesn't reset your position fast enough to track that sidestep. So basically when you're pressing rush attacks, you're gonna want to move to the side while you do it. So it always tracks your opponent, okay? Another thing you have to learn about close range is your disengagement tool, which is essentially your movement or dragon dash cancel into dash. Okay, so dragon dash looks like this. Okay, that's basically you like charge up key and press X in any direction and you'll start dragon dashing. Okay, and then as you see, I can cancel it into a dash. See, so at close range you could dragon dash backwards and dash laterally and it'll get you out of the engagement. And you need to know this because if not, you'll be stuck trying to get out of engagements with your side step, which is already not safe compared to 3 months ago, but it's also very slow and very predictable, right? So you want to drag and dash out of your engagements like that, okay? Okay, so when you're fighting close range, you don't want to just be stuck doing this. You want to mix in disengagements and re-engagements, okay? So by re-engaging, the way I re-engage is basically you dash backwards and dash forward, dash backward, dash forward, and you need to practice that. That is very necessary nowadays, because back in the day, I feel like, you know, a lot less people knew how to do that. Now every Z rank knows how to do that. Everyone who's good at this game knows how to disengage, re-engage, and move laterally, and you know, in all sorts of directions. So if you don't know how to do that, you're gonna be at a great disadvantage.
So we.
Alright, now let me talk a little bit about Vanishing Assault, okay? Because a lot of low ranks like to spam Vanishing Assault. They just like to spam that move right there. And let me explain to you why that's not good, okay? So Vanishing Assault basically eats your key, number one, and it eats a lot of key just for a basic knockback. And you might think, oh, but I could escape combos, like that's very useful. It's definitely worth a bar of key, right? And in my opinion, it's really not, because if we're gonna be honest, when you're fighting a real opponent, you're basically fighting with 2 bars of key and under for a lot of the match, and you burning through like a whole bar basically guarantees that your opponent is gonna beat you in a Vanish War. And not only that, if he catches you doing it and expects you doing a Vanishing Assault, he could just vanish like that and reset you. And if you don't know what a reset is, it basically means combos as you do them do less damage as the combo goes on. Basically meaning that the first 4 hits of the combo do the most damage, whereas the last 4 hits of a combo do less damage, okay? So basically, when you Vanish Assault trying to get out of a combo that's been going on for like 10 hits or so, basically you're allowing the opponent to kind of predict your Vanish Assault and reset you for max damage. So it's extremely punishing if the opponent catches you doing a Vanish Assault, and you're basically guaranteed that you don't have key for a follow-up attack. So it's really bad, guys. Even though it feels good to get out of the combo, math-wise and statistic-wise, you're basically guaranteeing you're losing the match by doing Vanishing Assaults. So please, guys, if you're a B rank or under or even an A rank, stop spamming Vanishing Assault. It's not good. There's a reason why Z ranks don't use it. If it was good, we would all be doing it, okay? It's not good, so just stop doing it. All right, guys, so now we're gonna talk about close range, okay? So one of the most common tactics that people are using nowadays is punch vanish spam, okay? So what's punch vanish spam? It's basically high speed movement, it's called in the game, okay? So it's basically square and R1 to vanish. So it'll look like this, okay? And as you see, it eats key, a pretty substantial amount, but people will just use that and basically try to make you miss so that they can start their offense, okay? So how do you counter that? You basically want to catch their punch vanish spam with a perception or a light smash, or basically one of your trips or anything fast as a first movement, okay? So the way you do that, that's basically what it looks like. See, you can catch their high-speed movement. You can catch it with a perception because people usually want to get off multiple punch vanish attacks. See, just like that. So you can even backstep into a perception, and that'll catch it as well. Okay.
Just begun.
Now, the other way to do it is basically, if you don't want to use perception, you can light smash the opponent. Okay, so let's try that. Just like that, see? Light smash will go through their rush attack spam and will allow you to kind of start your offense. Okay, so backward dash into light smash. Ooh, wasn't fast enough. You gotta be kind of fast through the inputs. But yeah, light smash will go through rush attack. So bam, just like that. All right. That's the other option. So if you make a miss with a side step, you could dash in with a trip or a punch trip. Okay, just like that. See that? You gotta be fast though. And sometimes it doesn't track well. Sometimes so you gotta be careful. Just like that. Miss, bam, dash in. Okay, miss, dash in, punch. Sometimes it clashes. You gotta be careful. Okay, so it's kind of like a guessing game a little bit, especially at fast speeds. It could get a little hectic, but that's how you can beat that punch vanish attack. Just like that. Okay, so characters with special ki blast like Boo here have another option for approaching at mid-range, which is basically Z-burst dash mix-ups. Okay, so this is called a slow-moving ki blast while standing. Okay, that's what I call it, and it makes perfect sense because it's basically just a charge ki blast and move slow, and I'm standing. Okay, guys. So what I like to do, let's say we're fighting, right? We're fighting. I retreat. I just throw out this ki blast, and I'm right behind them. Okay, and what that does is that if they try to deflect that ki blast, and what a lot of people do is just do this, right? So basically, it'll automatically try to deflect that. It basically allows me to get behind them and start my offense anyways. And even if they guard, like I said, hits on guard are basically safe now. So even if they guard, it allows me to start the guessing game. Okay.
I shall lend you a helping hand.
Now, unblockable ki blasts have received a heavy nerf compared to 3 months ago. So like this ki blast is not even that good to start combos. I mean, you could attempt it, but there's like a big end lag to that move right there. And it misses. You see that? So Bandai nerfed a lot of the special ki blasts. Sadly, so characters like this are just not as good as they used to be, sadly. But I still think that slow moving ki blasts while standing are really good because Z-burst dash got buffed, right? So you could do that. You see the ki blast gets there later. And use your movement, right? That's how I like to play. So yeah, movement is very important. Remember, your disengagement tool is just dragon dash into dash. And another thing, at mid-range, once you get really good and you're fighting really good opponents, at mid-range, opponents like to do this dragon dash move to make you miss. So they'll basically dash here, dash here, dash here, and then once they're close, do that. Okay, and a lot of people like to do that. A lot of good players like to do that now. So be wary of this. Okay, of course, once you get good enough and they get good enough, it's gonna be a battle of dragon dashing. Basically at mid-range, he's gonna be doing that as well, and then both of you gonna be fishing for one of these, right? Because it tracks very well upwards and downwards. So yeah, your light smash is a good engagement at mid-range, but of course other Z ranks know it as well. So it's a battle of who gets that light smash first, okay? So it becomes kind of interesting. That's why this game, even though it has a lot of problems, I really enjoy it, guys. Like this game with the movement and the combos, like it's just a fun game to play, honestly, even with all the problems.
So weak. Heavenly playtime has come from the front.
So there we go. That's an updated neutral guide for you guys. Okay, just employ some of these tactics, and you too could play any character in this game, especially right now that they standardized all the damage and HPs. Basically now you could use a lot of characters, and if you just implement some of these fundamentals, you could play anyone, guys, and have fun playing this game. And remember, guys, stop spamming Vanishing Assault, okay? No one enjoys playing against it, and it's not even good for you to win games, guys. You're just wasting ki for not a lot of reward, and basically putting yourself at a big disadvantage and big risk, okay? So stop spamming Vanishing Assault. Let me know if you want to know anything else. If you want to know any combo routes or reset routes, I can include that in the next guide. And let me know what you need, because I want to get the player base in a good spot so that we could get some good matches again. I know matchmaking right now is kind of broken, so we're stuck playing like D ranks and B ranks, which is pretty bad, but hopefully they fix that soon and we could get back to good competition. All right, guys, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.